So the Camden KPP is a special edition watch that we designed in collaboration with Kitty Pemberton-Platt, and it's based on one of our number 88, and it's all inspired by the world of cycling. So the reason that Jerome and I wanted to do a cycling watch is, for starters, we love to cycle. So just purely from that point of view, it was really exciting for us to work on this project. But also, we love the universe that surrounds cycling. It's like there's a big tribe element around cycling that we really wanted to tap into because it's just so much fun. There's this whole great kind of Victorian inspiration as well behind the sport that we really lived when we went to do a vintage cycling festival up in the Peak District, and you just get immersed in this universe of cycling, and it was just fantastic. But one of the things is that we knew that if we were going to do a watch around cycling, it needed to be authentic, and that's not something that we could do by ourselves. We needed someone who was really in the universe of cycling, and that's where Kitty came in.
I moved to London in 2014. I very much used to use my weekends to find new places, new cafes, and one of those weekends I was walking through Camden and I just stumbled across this lovely pop-up that was selling watches. I loved what they were doing, loved their design. I got speaking to Annie and Jerome. A few days later I posted on social media about the watch. That was the first time anyone had talked about them on social. So Annie got in touch with me to say thank you, and we essentially were friends ever since.
So I approached Kitty with the idea, and I was really happy because she seemed super keen about it. And it was this classic London thing of we tried to put a date to the diary and it was toing and froing. But I remember getting an email from her where she wrote to me, "This is so exciting, I can't wait, I've started sketching already." And that's when I thought, yes, this is going to be something special.
With this watch, we started completely from scratch and did a lot of research into the cycling old school era actually, and the aesthetic and the colours. And it's very much about not just what you add, it's very much about what you take away. It's those small things that can make a massive difference. And for me, for never having designed a watch before, working with Annie and Jerome was perfect because they gave me so much knowledge and a lot of boundaries of what works and what doesn't, but enough creative freedom to have a lot of fun and come up with a lot of ideas. Something which hasn't changed in cycling over the years is this obsession with details, and whether that is performance details or whether it's aesthetic details. Like the tan handlebars on bikes, which are just so beautiful. And so we took that and we put that as the main strap. But actually you can also buy the KPP Club Edition. And what comes with that is a separate black strap, which completely changes what the watch looks like actually. But the reason we gave you that option is that it's a nylon strap and works much better when you're on the bike. Years ago, there was very much an aesthetic on bike saddles where there was these beautiful circles around the outside, and we took that and we put that into the face of the watch. Maybe if you're not a cyclist, or even if you didn't read up on that, you wouldn't think anything of that, and it just looks beautiful. But that's what we wanted to do, that you could look at it and absolutely love how the watch looked, but the more that you read into it, the more payback you got, and you thought, oh, that's where that came from, and that's where that was connected. And that's what I love when I see someone who isn't a cyclist enjoying it and wearing the watch, and then someone who is a real die-hard cycling fan who just completely gets every single detail that we've put in. And that transfers all the way to the packaging and what we thought about how that was going to look, and the little details that we put in the box, like the keepsakes that look very similar to that of a card that you would get on a long distance ride where you get checkpoints. It's certainly not a masculine watch that women can get away with wearing, and it isn't a feminine watch that men want but don't think it looked right on their wrist. And what I really love about it is a lot of my friends who have it, it looks completely different on everyone's wrist.
I'm just so happy with how the watch turned out because it's this beautifully understated watch, but it's still packed full of details, and it's completely unique. It couldn't be any other watch than the Camden KPP. And that would never have happened if I hadn't have done this watch with Kitty. All the colour, all the elements, all the design inspiration has really come from her and her knowledge of the cycling universe. I'm not used to necessarily designing with other people, and it was fantastic because not only does she have this great eye for design, but she'd also bring in all this knowledge of the cycling universe. So all these little elements that I didn't know about, that she would talk to me about, and all of a sudden that would give me inspiration that I could then put to paper that then she would see differently, and it was just a fantastic experience. And I'm just really happy with what the end result is.